Welcome back to a Faster PC live support. I know you've been waiting all week for this show. Well, you don't have to wait any longer. Get excited. This time, this is exciting. We're actually going to be helping people resolve their computer problems. We may help you resolve your computer problems. So give us a call, 772-340-1590, 772-340-1590. Or you can head over to our Facebook or YouTube video. Either go to Facebook, search for a Faster PC. We have almost 23,000 likes. Go to YouTube. YouTube channel is kind of new, and we don't have as many likes over there, but get over there and you can watch the show there as well. Or you can head to our website at fasterpc.com. We have links to both our Facebook page and our YouTube channel where you can watch this show in its entirety. And you know what? If you're driving down the road, you're doing other things, you're not able to watch right now, you'll be able to watch the show in its entirety at your convenience after the show is over. So, but if you have a computer question, if you have a computer problem, if something's not working, now is your chance to get your problem solved for free. Give us a call, 772-340-1590, and let's see whether we can help you on this show resolve your computer problem. Also, we do have technicians that are standing by in the shop ready to resolve computer problems, and we'll be there today until 2, but you don't have to wait until then. Remember, computer problems?
You need a faster PC.
Yes, you do,
Yes, you
and
do,
we are
and we are
back,
back,
ready to answer your computer, technical, and cybersecurity questions, your streaming questions as well. I did want to just let you know, if you don't know already, that we are streaming this show live on Facebook and YouTube. Also, in addition to that, we do have recordings, various segments of the show. Of course, you can watch the entire shows, really going back on YouTube. We've been doing this for about 2.5 years on YouTube, and on Facebook we've been doing this since maybe the summer of 2016 or so. So you can actually go back and watch all of those shows if you want, any one of those shows that you want to watch. But recently, in the last 2 months or so, 3 months, we've been actually rolling out individual videos, the content that we are producing on this show. We're rolling out individual segments of that onto our show. In some of the videos that you may want to watch, if you're a Little League baseball fan, you want to watch the Little League World Series Championship that's going to be tonight, you can actually do that for free, and we show you how. We have a video on that up on our YouTube channel. We have links to it on Facebook as well. If you want to be able to watch the NFL, we have links to that. We have a video for watching the MLB. We have a video for watching the WNBA, including every game that Caitlin Clark plays in. You can go and watch all of those. We also last week covered the Microsoft security package, or their security updates that they rolled out for August. And what we actually showed, they actually have almost 90 updates that address various flaws. Some of them, most of them are security related, or many of them are security related, including 6 zero-day threats. If you missed that, you want to go watch that, you can watch last week's show in its entirety, or you can actually go and watch that individual video. 2 weeks ago, we did a segment on this show where we actually talked about a security flaw that Microsoft doesn't have a patch for, and that's the Windows Update downgrade. That kind of sounds a little bit odd, because updates should normally upgrade you, but there's actually a threat where a hacker can actually downgrade your system, but your system still thinks that it's updated. So we rolled out a special or separate video for that. You can go and watch that there. So we do cover cybersecurity. We cover streaming. We answer your computer questions. We're covering technical issues. So one of the things that we do like to do is we do like to show you how you can stream various content. And what we're going to do today is we're actually going to look at how you can watch college football, including games for free without cable TV. I know that there are people out there, I have friends out there that won't watch the NFL, they'll only watch college. Now, part of the reason they do that is because college, at least in the past, the players didn't get paid, and they felt it was more honest and more real. But now that they're getting paid, I'm not sure. I haven't really talked to them to see whether they're going to change their views on college or not. But I know that there are some people that get into college and college football, and some of those people will actually subscribe to cable TV just so they can watch college games. The good news is you can watch quite a few games without cable TV. And so we're going to go over how you can watch some of these games. We're also going to go over, unfortunately, if you really, really, really want to watch them all, you are going to have some subscriptions. If you want to watch games and you're not maybe quite as concerned about which team you watch and which conference you watch, good news is you can get a lot of them for free. So, there are various conferences, and then there are teams that are not in conferences, and of course there are smaller teams that are kind of out of the national picture altogether, or rarely are in the national picture. But there's the AAC conference. And this is actually aired on ABC, which is available for free over the air. It's also available on ESPN, ESPN2, ESPN-NU, and ESPN Plus. So the ESPN would require a subscription, and with that you can actually watch those games. But some of them, again, coming out for free on over-the-air ABC. So I'll go through the conferences and what networks they're on, and then after we're done with all that, we'll talk about how you can watch the free ones. We'll also talk about various subscription options if you want to watch certain other content that may not be available for free. But you also have the ACC. The ACC is again on ABC, on the ACC network, the ACC Network Extra, all the ESPN channels, and the CW. The Big 12 Conference is available on ABC, the ESPN channels, on Fox, and FS1. Now, the FS1, the Fox, you can get over the air on a digital antenna. You cannot get FS1 on a digital antenna. It's only available through a cable TV subscription or a cable TV substitute subscription. You also have the Big Ten Conference. There's the Big Ten Network, CBS, Fox, FS1, NBC, and Peacock is where you can watch those games. There's the Conference USA, that's CBS Sports Network, ESPN channels. The division of FBS Independents are on CBS, also on the ESPN channels, and NBC and Peacock. And then you have the Mid-Atlantic Conference, and that's on CBS, ESPN, and the various ESPN channels. You have the Mountain West Conference is on CBS, Fox, FS1, and True TV. And True TV would require a subscription or to either a cable package that has it or a cable TV substitute package. You also have the SEC. That's the big dog, and some of the teams from some of the other conferences are coming into the SEC. That's on ABC. It's on the ESPN network of channels, on the SEC network, and on SEC Plus. The SEC network and SEC Plus is a subscription. It actually requires a cable TV subscription or, again, a cable TV substitute package that has that package as a part of it. And then there's the Sun Belt Conference. So the Sun Belt Conference, you have ABC, ESPN channels air the Sun Belt Conference. So ABC, CBS, Fox, these channels and NBC are all available over the air with a digital antenna. We do recommend you can get some of these stations, maybe all of these stations, depending on where you live, how close you are to the towers, and how strong the signal is. You may be able to get all of these stations with an indoor antenna. But the best antennas are outdoor antennas, and they're directional, and you can actually aim them toward a tower. And so that's what we would recommend. If you live in a community where you can't have an outdoor antenna, well, you know what? You could actually probably get away with having an outdoor antenna for a few hours while you're watching a game. And you can just run the cable through a window, have the window just cracked open, run the cable through the window, run it through the house, and then when you're done, set it up on a tripod or something. When you're done, bring it inside, and before the HOA knows what's going on. Well, many of these games are also on ESPN. ESPN is available. They do have ESPN Plus, and you can subscribe to that for $11 a month. The CBS channels, they have actually, CBS and NBC, they have Peacock and Paramount. Some of those subscriptions you might actually get with, I know one of them you get with Walmart Plus. So those are some subscriptions. They're really inexpensive to get. And then there's also the cable TV or cable TV substitute packages. Really, if you want to get all of them, that's what you're going to need to get. But you can watch, the good news is you can watch a lot of games for free with over-the-air digital antennas.
You're listening to a Faster PC radio here, heard every Saturday in the 10 o'clock hour right here on this station and stream live to our Facebook page. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back, ready to answer your computer questions. So you know what? If you have questions, well, we can't answer them unless you ask them. Our number, if you want to have your computer questions answered, is 772-340-5090. 772-340-5090. Also, you can type your questions into the comment section of our live Facebook video that's happening right now over at Facebook. You can go there, search for Faster PC. We have almost 23,000 likes. Or just go to our website, afasterpc.com. Click on the link to listen to a Faster PC radio. We're here. We're ready to answer your computer questions, and we'll be right back to do that. Computer problems? You need a Faster PC. This is Brian Longworth, host of a Faster PC Radio, where we answer your computer questions for free every Saturday from 10 to 11 a.m. But it gets even better than that.
Now, wait a minute. How could it possibly get any better than that?
Yes, Cliff. A Faster PC has technicians standing by every Saturday ready to work on your computer.
Wait a minute. Technicians standing by on a Saturday?
Well, Cliff, a Faster PC has technicians standing by Monday through Friday for standard and emergency service, both in-shop and on-site. That means you can bring your computer to a Faster PC, or a Faster PC can come to you. And if you need computer service in a hurry, we offer emergency service both in-shop and on-site. We can handle anything from software installs, viruses, spyware, to multi-site VPN networking. Computer problems?
You need a Faster PC.
A Faster PC, conveniently located at 7186 South US 1, Port St. Lucie, and on the web at afasterpc.com. For more information, call 878-5978. 878-5978. Computer problems? You need a Faster PC.
From the founding of our company, a Faster PC has provided our customers with quality service and computer products at competitive prices. We find that in the current economy, this is more important than ever. A Faster PC recently conducted a market survey and found that our prices are the least expensive in the area. Some of our competitors charge twice what we charge. Perhaps that's why more customers are turning to a Faster PC. We're helping our customers save money by repairing their computers rather than replacing them.
Now, wait a minute. You mean a Faster PC saves customers money?
A Faster PC offers the most competitive prices for computer repair in our area.
Wait a minute. Technicians that know what they're doing for less than the competition?
That's right. A Faster PC can handle anything from software installs, virus, spyware, and malware, and those annoying pop-ups, to QuickBooks, Metisoft, and SoftIn support, from wireless networks to hardware networks. Computer problems?
You need a Faster PC.
Conveniently located at 7186 South US 1, Port St. Lucie, and on the web at afasterpc.com. Call 878-5978. Computer problems? You need a Faster PC.
Welcome back to a Faster PC Radio. I know you've been waiting, a whole few minutes for the next segment of today's show. If you've been waiting to give us a call so that you can get your computer question answered, well, now's a great time to give us a call. Give us a call. The number here at the studio is 772-340-1590, 772-340-1590. Of course, if you're a little bit shy, maybe you don't want to call and be on the radio, this is your opportunity, by the way, if you do want to be on the radio. But if you're a little bit shy, maybe you don't want to be on the radio, you don't want people to hear what you say, then you can actually head over to our Facebook video. It's a live Facebook video going on right now. You can head over there. Just go to www.afasterpc.com. Click on the link to listen to a Faster PC Radio. That'll take you to our Facebook page. Or you can go to Facebook, search for a Faster PC. You'll find our page. We have between 22 and 23,000 likes. You'll be able to actually get over there, scroll down on the page a little bit. You'll see the live video, and you can type your question into the comment section. Now, your question doesn't have to be on what we've been talking about. It can be on any topic as long as it's computer related. So head over there and you can be on the show, or just give us a call, 772-340-1590. We did also want to remind you that we have technicians standing by ready to resolve computer problems. Our number in the shop is 772-878-5978, and we are located at 7190 South US 1 in Port St. Lucie. Again, the number is 772-878-5978. Computer problems?
You need a faster PC.
Yes, you do, and we are back ready to answer your computer technical and streaming questions, your cybersecurity questions as well. So we'll be going over all of this. If you are streaming, or if you're watching the show on one of our live videos, or maybe even you're watching this video after the fact and you have a question that you'd like us to cover on this show, you can actually type your question into the comment section. We'll actually go over those. Some of these we'll be able to go over right now while we're live on the show, and if we can't cover that, we'll actually go over that at a later date, and you'll be able to actually you look at that and see what's going on, so that we can answer your question. Also, if you type a question into the comment section, we will at some point we'll go ahead and let you know that we'll let you know in the comment section when we have answered that, so that you can see that as well. One of the things we do like to do is, one of the things we wanted to cover is computer performance, and really how sometimes the big guys can actually configure a computer. Quite often, really, they do this. They configure computers so that they're actually slower than what they should be, slower than what you're paying for. And really, one of the things when you buy a new computer, you want that computer to be faster than the computer you've already bought. And sadly, sometimes that doesn't always happen. We've had multiple customers that do buy computers that are slower than the ones they already have. And I don't care how good of a deal you get, if you actually are paying money for something that's worse than what you had before, you're losing. That's a loss in my book. You can get a great deal. You know what? If you get a great deal and that computer is junk, if it's slow, if it doesn't perform well, then what I would encourage you to do is take it back. Don't actually pay money for a new computer that's actually slow. Well, one of the things that we saw in our shop recently, we actually had a customer bring in a computer, and we were looking at the computer, and he was complaining. His complaint was, this computer's slow. And we're looking at the computer and we're saying, your processor's fast enough. The processor is what does the brains of the function. Basically it's kind of like the brains. It does all the mathematical calculations. You have plenty of RAM. Your computer should be quick. And what you really need, because we saw that he had a platter hard drive. Now what a platter hard drive is It's a standard drive. So it looks like this. If you're watching on the live stream, this is actually a Seagate drive, and this drive has metal platters on the inside of it. They actually spin. The metal platters actually spin at well, the rate will depend. 5,400 RPM, 7,200 RPMs. Some in a laptop might only go 4,500. In a very fast desktop drive, it might go to 1,000, or excuse me, 10,000, or even to 15,000, like in a SCSI drive. But even still, these drives are slow. They're mechanical. They're more prone to failure. People ask us, well, why did my drive fail? Well, have you ever had a part on a car that failed? Yeah. And people will say, well, I don't understand. It was working yesterday. Have you had a part on the car that failed? Yes, they've had a part on the car that failed. Was it working before it stopped working? Yes. So this is, with platter hard drives, you have actually moving parts. And because of the moving parts, the nature of it, there's actually an arm that moves back and forth, reads and writes the data magnetically. It also has to get to a certain place where the data is, if it's reading data, or to a blank spot if it's writing data. And so because of the mechanical nature of it, it is slow. It actually has limitations because of the mechanical nature of it. It also is more prone to failure. There are electronics and there's magnetics also that can go bad. Sometimes those go bad and the mechanics are actually working, but quite often it's the mechanics that go bad. And one of the things that happens with platter hard drives is they're very susceptible to power fluctuations and power outages. And those of you that live in South Florida, that in the summertime we have a lot of thunderstorms and there are power fluctuations. We actually had a short power outage at our house this morning. So if you have this platter hard drive and the platters are those disks are spinning and the heads are moving back and forth and all of a sudden it stops, that can cause damage to the drive. Well, these are slow. The newer way of doing it is with an SSD drive. So what we actually said with this one customer is, hey, listen, what you need to do is you actually need to get an SSD drive in here. And so the customer actually approved having us install an SSD. He was going to buy an SSD drive from us and have us do a data transfer where we take his old drive and image it over to the new SSD drive, and everything works just like it did before. It just much faster. Well, we opened it up when we're ready to do the work, and you know what? We could have sold him that SSD drive. But when we opened up the computer, what we found is that he already had an SSD drive that he paid for when he bought his computer. And from the factory, his computer came with an SSD drive, which is super fast. I mean, it's so fast that if you don't have an SSD drive and you go to an SSD drive, you're going to wonder why you didn't do that earlier. But he actually had this SSD drive in his computer, and one of the things, but really from the factory, the operating system and the programs were supposed to be configured to run on that SSD drive, and the platter hard drive was supposed to be a data partition, was supposed to just be there just to store data. Well, one of the things that did happen with that is that the factory, some bozo, we'll call him Bozo the Clown, but he was masquerading as a technician in this with this big company. He actually, instead of configuring the fast SSD drive as the primary drive and using the platter drive as a data drive where the speed is not quite as important, what this bozo did is configured the operating system to run on the slow drive and have the fast SSD drive be the data. So the operating system, the programs were loading off of this slow drive, and then what you had is again, you had this fast SSD drive for the data. Well, this was just ridiculous, and we didn't sell him a new SSD drive. We used the SSD drive that was already in his computer, and we imaged his hard drive to that SSD drive, and then we actually a lot of times when we do that, we actually disconnect the plotter drive and just keep it in there as a backup, because it has all their information, and unless they need it as for data, we don't want to leave it connected with the operating system, because sometimes Windows gets confused and will start booting off of the slower drive, and we've seen that happen before, where the Windows will actually boot off of the slower drive instead of the newer, faster SSD drive. And so one of the things, we actually were able to get this guy's computer running quickly without him having to actually buy a new drive, because he already had a drive and had the big computer company that he bought the computer from in the first place done what they should have done from the factory, instead of having Bozo, the IT tech, do the work. Well, he would have been performing, his computer would have performed quickly, and he never would have needed to bring it to us to have us actually increase the performance of the system. So this is something you want to definitely make sure that if you have an SSD drive, first of all, when you buy a computer, you want to have an SSD drive. If you have a computer that doesn't have an SSD drive, then you want to actually upgrade to an SSD drive, as long as the processor is fast enough to do that. And in addition to that, if you actually buy a computer with an SSD and it has a platter hard drive also, you want to make sure that the SSD is the default drive. Now I'm going to show you, I'm going to switch over to a full screen. I'll verbally describe this for those that are listening on the radio. But for those that are watching the live stream or watch this after the fact, I'm going to switch over to a full screen so that you can actually see this. What I'm going to do is launch the window or the task manager. Now I did that by holding down the control and the shift key and then pressing escape. On many computers you can also do control alt delete. Sometimes that will automatically launch the task manager. Sometimes it will launch a window where you can choose. Let me see if I can do that right now. So here's security options. That's what it does. You can choose the task manager. I'm going to click cancel, but that's the window that comes up. So what we're going to do here, this is Windows 11. So if you have another operating system, it may look a little bit different than this. But here in Windows 11, this is where I can look at my disk performance, my memory, and my CPU, the percentages of the capacity or throughput that are being used. So with the drive here, we're looking at throughput. With the memory, we're looking at what percentage of the memory, or the CPU, we're looking what percentage of the capacity is being used currently. So one of the things, and by the way, the disk performance is not always accurate in Windows 10 or Windows 11. Sometimes we've seen platter hard drives that really are operating at 100% throughput that are showing low throughput on this window. But typically the CPU and the memory are good here. You can actually click on individual columns and you can sort by columns and see what program is actually using up resources. This is one way to see if your computer's slow, why it's slow. But you want to go to performance. Now on Windows 11, that's on the left. On Windows 10, it's across the top. And what you can actually see is the performance graph. I'm going to move the Skype. We're actually connected to the studio today via Skype. But you actually see little spikes on the CPU. The CPU, again, does all the mathematical calculations. We can also click on memory and look at the RAM memory and see what percentage of the RAM memory is being used. But then we're going to look at the drives, the C drive and see, I actually have a C and an E that are on one drive, and then I have the D drive that's on a second drive. And these drives, what we actually see here, we actually see, it spikes up as things, and I'm actually streaming this show right now, and I'm recording it, so data is being used and is being written to these drives, and that does, you'll see spikes up sometimes, but most of the time the throughput is very low because this is a very fast SSD. What we see though with platter hard drives quite often, especially right when you turn your computer on, sometimes even up to 5 minutes or more without doing anything else, you'll see this graph all the way up to the top. We'll see this all the way up to the top, and that means that the computer is getting, or the drive is getting the data to the computer as quickly as it can, but it's not getting it there quickly enough because it's working as hard as it can, and that's why your computer is slow if you have that running right at the top. What I can do maybe one day is take a video of a computer that is where the drive is all the way at the top, and you'll actually be able to see that. But and by the way, some platter hard drives have a small SSD drive that serves as cache, and Windows will actually report that as an SSD drive. But if you see the throughput all the way up to the top, it's either not an SSD or it's an SSD that's not working very well. And if you have a situation like this and you want to go faster, well, we can help you go faster. And that's what we are here, a faster PC. We can help your computer perform faster with an SSD upgrade.
You're listening to a Faster PC radio heard on this station every Saturday in the 10 o'clock hour. We're going to take a quick break, but we'll be right back for the final segment of today's show. Listen, if you want to get your computer questions answered and you haven't called in, now's your opportunity. In fact, this is your last opportunity coming up. 772-340-1590. 772-340-1590. You can also head over to our Facebook page, and you can actually, from the Facebook page, you can type your computer questions into the comment section of the live video, and we'll cover them on today's show. But you know what? You've got to get over there right now or give us a call, 772-340-1590, so we can answer your computer questions. Computer problems? You need a faster PC. This is Brian Longworth, host of A Faster PC Radio, where we answer your computer questions for free every Saturday from 10 to 11 a.m. But it gets even better than that.
Now, wait a minute. How could it possibly get any better than that?
Yes, Cliff. A Faster PC has technicians standing by every Saturday ready to work on your computer.
Wait a minute. Technicians standing by on a Saturday?
Well, Cliff, A Faster PC has technicians standing by Monday through Friday for standard and emergency service, both in-shop and on-site. That means you can bring your computer to A Faster PC, or A Faster PC can come to you. And if you need computer service in a hurry, we offer emergency service both in-shop and on-site. We can handle anything from software installs, viruses, spyware, to multi-site VPN networking. Computer problems?
You need a faster PC.
A Faster PC, conveniently located at 7186 South US 1, Port St. Lucie, and on the web at afasterpc.com. For more information, call 878-5978. 878-5978. Computer problems? You need a Faster PC.
From the founding of our company, A Faster PC has provided our customers with quality service and computer products at competitive prices. We find that in the current economy, this is more important than ever. A Faster PC recently conducted a market survey and found that our prices are the least expensive in the area. Some of our competitors charge twice what we charge. Perhaps that's why more customers are turning to A Faster PC. We're helping our customers save money by repairing their computers rather than replacing them.
Now, wait a minute. You mean A Faster PC saves customers money?
A Faster PC offers the most competitive prices for computer repair repair in our area.
Wait a minute. Technicians that know what they're doing for less than the competition?
That's right. A faster PC can handle anything from software installs, virus, spyware, and malware, and those annoying pop-ups, to QuickBooks, Manysoft, and SoftIn support, from wireless networks to hardware networks. Computer problems?
You need a faster PC.
Conveniently located at 7186 South US 1, Port St. Lucie, and on the web at afasterpc.com. Call 878-5978. Computer problems? You need a faster PC.
Welcome back to A Faster PC Radio. This is the last segment of today's show. We'd love to answer your computer questions, but if you don't call, we can't answer. Give us a call. The number to have your computer question answered is 772-340-1590, 772-340-1590, or you can hop on over to our Facebook page, A Faster PC, and actually from there, you can type your question into the comment section. So again, just a few more minutes to answer your questions. We did want to remind you also that not only can you ask your questions at the Facebook page or by calling 772-340-1590, but you can also watch the video as well. So some of the questions that I'm answering, as I answer those questions, I'll be able actually to show you the steps that you go through to resolve computer problems. And if you're not where you can watch it right now, that's fine. You can watch it at your convenience shortly after the show's over. It'll be up there on our Facebook page. You can get there one of two ways. Either go to our website, afasterpc.com. We have a link that says listen to A Faster PC Radio. If you click on that, it'll take you to our Facebook page, or go to Facebook and search for A Faster PC. We also wanted to remind you that in the shop we have technicians standing by today to work on computers and resolve computer problems. We're at 7190 South US 1, and our number in the office is 772-878-5978. And of course, we're here to answer your questions. Well, your computer questions, and we could answer other questions, but we're here specifically to answer computer questions. Computer problems? You need a faster PC.
Yes, you do, and we are back ready to answer your computer, technical, streaming, and cybersecurity questions. And one of the things that we did go over maybe a month or two ago, we went over the Microsoft Windows update that caused a BitLocker recovery error. And the issue with this, what actually happened with this, is that there was a vulnerability in certain systems that actually, and this was tracked actually as CVE-2024-38058. There was a BitLocker issue that actually allowed hackers to get access to certain information on the drive, even though there was a BitLocker. Now the hackers would have to have physical access to the drive for this to happen. So one of the things that happened though is that Microsoft did roll out this update, and some of the computers rebooted into a BitLocker recovery, where what BitLocker is, first of all, BitLocker is hard drive encryption that actually encrypts the drive so that the data cannot be accessed unless it's booted from that computer. So if you're booting it from, let's say you change your motherboard, you would need the BitLocker recovery key. Or if you take that drive to another computer, you need the BitLocker recovery key. Well, this protects you in that if your computer were lost or stolen and the drive were removed and connected to another computer, or the hacker didn't know your password, they wouldn't be able to reset the password without knowing the BitLocker recovery key. Without resetting the password, they wouldn't have access to your data. So it is a good thing. It does protect your data. It's good to use for businesses, for individuals. We do recommend having the BitLocker enabled, but it's also important to actually know your BitLocker key or have it recorded somewhere. If you actually encrypt your drive with BitLocker, or if you have Windows 10 Home or Windows 11 Home, Microsoft doesn't call it BitLocker, but it still uses a BitLocker key, and it still is encryption. And if you enable that on your computer, then you actually are required by Microsoft to store the BitLocker key, and you can do that by saving it to a different drive. A BitLocker recovery file to a different drive. You can actually print it out so that you have record of it. In fact, we have two different remote support agents, and those actually allow us to be able, they actually do capture and record the BitLocker key. So we've actually been able to recover some people's, people don't realize this. In fact, some computers ship from the factory with BitLocker enabled. The end user doesn't know that it's there, doesn't even know what it is, doesn't know the key. So this can present a problem, and it did present problems for not everyone, but some people, because of a firmware. Firmware is the basically the motherboard BIOS. Each motherboard has firmware, and that firmware was not compatible with the update and caused some computers to go into this BitLocker recovery key. Again, it didn't happen on every computer. Really, it didn't happen on my computer, didn't happen on any of our computers we're running in our office or any of our clients where we have configured BitLocker. It didn't happen on any of their systems. But if it would have, we would have had the BitLocker recovery key. Well, because some people had these problems, Microsoft, in their latest Windows updates, they actually removed that protection or that patch, that update from the system, and they're now recommending that if you have not yet installed that patch, that you actually manually mitigate that issue. And there's a 4-stage procedure that is required to actually, and it requires you to actually reboot your computer 8 times. Microsoft further warns that after you apply this mitigation on your device with Secure Boot, you will never, ever be able to get rid of BitLocker. In fact, it will always be there, even if you reformat the drive, even if you take that to another computer and you reformat the drive, it still will always have BitLocker. You will never be able to get BitLocker off of it. So really the solution is not really the best solution. Here it would be better really to just find out what your BitLocker recovery key is, and then install the software in case you need it. And by the way, we do provide this service for our customers where if we do work for you, we offer to install our remote support software, and that will automatically back up any BitLocker recovery key that's there, so that you actually do have the ability to, we have the ability to know what your BitLocker key is in the event that your computer needs it. And, again, if you have to change the motherboard on your computer, doesn't happen often. I had to have the motherboard on my computer was actually changed twice this year. And, that can, if you have BitLocker enabled, the BitLocker recovery key has to be, you either have to turn it off prior to that, or you have to actually use that BitLocker recovery key. Another thing that's interesting is that the BitLocker recovery key requires you to enter that BitLocker recovery key, and the only way to not have to enter that every time, and by the way, it's like a 48 character key, just random numbers, and the only way to get away, if you change your motherboard, the only way to get around entering that key is to first disable BitLocker, and then after it's fully decrypted, you can re-enable it, and then you'll have a new key, and that new key will be based on the new motherboard. with this option that Microsoft now has, you won't be able to do that, I believe, because BitLocker will always be there and you won't be able to change the recovery key from what I'm understanding here. Maybe hopefully they'll come up with a better solution for this in the future, and we'll keep you posted on that. Another thing to be aware of is that hackers are out there. They are using ransomware gangs, are deploying a new malware to kill security software. And ransomware operators are now deploying new malware to disable endpoint detect and respond security software and bring your own vulnerable driver attacks. So drivers are small pieces of software that allow your computer to communicate with various hardware on your computer. For instance, if you have every computer has multiple drivers installed. So your video driver or display driver allows your computer to display images on the screen. So if you're going to a website, that website would be able to be displayed on the screen. If you're working in Microsoft Word, that would be able to be displayed on the screen. That's actually done through a display driver. And you have an audio driver. You have really probably a few different audio drivers. You have multiple network drivers. There's a whole bunch of different drivers, USB drivers, a whole bunch of different drivers on every computer. And these drivers can be vulnerable. And so a Sophos Security researcher named this EDR Kill Shifter. And they're the ones that actually found this. They discovered it in May of 2024 in their ransomware investigation. The malware deploys a legitimate vulnerable driver on target devices to escalate privileges. So privileges, we've talked about least privileges. So least privileges means that your username actually uses as the lowest amount of privilege as possible. You don't really want your username to have admin rights. You want the user to not have admin rights. And so you only want to use admin rights when you absolutely have to. Well, there's certain parts of the computer that are capable of elevating rights. So in other words, they take a user that doesn't have admin rights and they elevate or escalate that privilege that user has to allow them to do things that they ordinarily wouldn't be able to do. So they're taking a vulnerable driver on a target device to escalate privileges, disable security solutions, and take control of the system. The technique is popular among various threat actors, ranging from financially motivated ransomware gangs. And you may have seen this on your own computer, where you get a message that says your data is encrypted. By the way, if you've never seen this, you're blessed. Thankfully, you've never seen this. I haven't had it happen to any of my computers, but we have remediated for some other customers that have had this. And the data is unrecoverable unless you have a backup. That's why it's important to have a backup. But these ransomware gangs are using this to gain access and gain privileges where they ordinarily wouldn't have. It's also used for state-backed hacking groups. So countries like China and Russia, they actually have paid actors, hackers that are actually working for them and are actually working for the government to try to hack into computers, especially computers in the U.S. Of course, they're targeting defense contractors. They're targeting U.S. government, but they also wouldn't mind getting into your computer and wreaking some havoc along the way as well. So during an incident in May, the threat actor used this tool and was able to. It was used by multiple attackers, and he attempted to use this EDR kill shifter to terminate Sophos protection on the targeted computer, but the tool failed, said the Sophos researcher. They then attempted to run the ransomware executable on the machine they controlled, but that also failed when the endpoint agent CryptoGuard feature was triggered. While investigating, Sophos discovered 2 different samples, both with proof of concept exploits available on GitHub. One exploiting a vulnerable driver known as rent DRV2, and another exploiting a driver called ThreatFire Monitor. So this is a threat out there. We can help protect you from it, though.
And we're coming to the end of today's show, but if you've missed any part of this show, or just want to listen to it again or watch it again, because you can do that at our Facebook page and YouTube channel. You can not only hear the show, but also see the show. And when we've described and shown you how to resolve computer problems, you can actually see that and watch it over and over again at our Facebook page or our YouTube channel. You can get there by going to our website of fasterpc.com and clicking on the links. We're open today until 2 p.m. Monday through Friday, we're open from 9 to 5, and next Saturday, we'll be open from 9 to 2. We want to invite you to listen to our church radio show tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. here on WPSL.
The title for tomorrow's sermon is The Most Neglected and Probably the Most Controversial Member of the Godhead, the Trinity.
You can listen to other sermons on our church website, covenanttabernacle.com, or our church Facebook page, Covenant Tabernacle World Outreach Center. You can find a Faster PC's Facebook page and YouTube channel by searching for a Faster PC on Facebook and YouTube, or by going to our website and clicking on the links. While there, you can actually watch the show, not only hear the show, but also watch the show and see the steps that we go through to actually resolve computer problems. A Faster PC is conveniently located at 7190 South US 1 on the east side of US 1, just north of Rio Mar. We're also on the web at www.afasterpc.com. Again, that's afasterpc.com. And you can reach us at 772-878-5978. Again, 772-878-5978. Computer problems?
Don't you know by now you need a faster PC?
America has enjoyed peace and prosperity like no other nation. 911 showed us how vulnerable we are. America turned to God in prayer. Churches were filled on weekdays. The NFL canceled games. Republican and Democrat congressmen prayed together. How quickly we forgot God, though. This year, let us humble ourselves and pray, seek His face, and turn from our wicked ways, so that He might hear from heaven, forgive our sins, and heal our land.
This is WPSL Port St.